the total property tax for the county that is the county's share. You need to look on your tax bill and you'll see so much is county, so much is school system, so much is town or city or airport.
So on your property tax, it breaks down where
all the property taxes go.
Okay.
The portion that the county receives is basically right at $50 million. So if we had no crime, we wouldn't need any county property taxes. We run the county off of miscellaneous revenues, and it always surprised a lot of people in the fact that the one of the miscellaneous revenues that we receive is from riverboat gambling, because we have no riverboat gambling money or site.
But we get some.
So we do receive some, and it's approximately $600,000, and then that's dispersed by our county auditor to the different towns and cities in this county, and it ends up that the actual county's portion then I think is around $280,000 or something of that type. But it's taxes on financial institutions. There's about 20 of them. I'm sorry, I don't. Well, actually, it probably says in this book. But the local option income tax is one of them, in which that's the largest one, and that's $10 to $11 million from that. So
you said the criminal justice system alone takes 70% of the budget?
Of the total budget, yes, but it takes all of the property taxes.
So where do you guys make up the rest of your budget?
Miscellaneous revenue.
Okay, and you get that from where?
That's what Roy was trying to explain.
The wheel tax?
No.
No.
No, that's what I was just explaining.
And even I get lost in all of it.
Well,
that's why we do need people with experience.
Don't worry about it, because
but this is important stuff, because people do get frustrated because, you know, we don't always understand everything, and we want to know why you're voting on things that, you know, like a bridge and a road. Not that we don't need them, but we want to make sure that it's not just, you know, a good road and, hey, we decided to fix it to put people to work.
Okay, here's some of them, all right? The county option income tax, and that's the one I was starting to explain, runs between $10 and $11 million a year. You have the building department that collects fees for inspection, cable TV franchise fees.
Seems a little unfair. You get fees from the cable TV, but okay.
Right.
I know, you guys didn't set the system up.
Right. Financial institution tax, and that's one that banks pay based upon the deposits and everything, and I think that's of January 1. There's a date that determines, and it's like 1/100th of a percent. I mean, it's a small percentage, but it does amount to some funds.
And that's how you pay for the other 30% of basically because property taxes are taken by criminal justice system, basically.
Correct. We have, in which our past treasurer, Bob Lee, and our current treasurer, Sue Orth, does a marvelous job on investing property tax funds that we receive that we don't need immediately, or even deposit overnight interest. And it's down a little bit because interest rates are down, but it's estimated that there'll be about $3 million
that she'll make
on that.
Well, that's pretty good.
Oh, it is.
We might like her.
Right. Right.
Smart girl.
But I mean, it's just, let's see what riverboat waging tax revenue, $380,000. I was sorry, I thought it was $280. It's about $380 is what we get to keep for the county share.
So what, they take all the riverboat taxes and then distribute it back to each county, even if you don't have a riverboat?
Correct. They distribute it back, a certain percent of it, they distribute back to counties that have no riverboat.
Do the counties with a riverboat get money too?
Well, they get from the boat directly.
Oh, okay, so everybody wins a little bit off the riverboat. So right. I guess the moral is gamble, don't gamble? I don't know what the moral of that one is.
I don't know. I think we ought to go to the next question.
We're live on Stoopid Politics, 422-8708. Some great questions. Please call in with some more. We have about 20 minutes left, and I'm learning so much. But I want to get back to the tough question, the wheel tax. I didn't know about that, and she seemed a little frustrated. So what would have happened if you didn't raise the wheel tax?
Let me pick up where we left off. I was trying to explain that it's a user fee,
okay,
but it's more fair because people who have vehicles, like Roy said, may not own property. So, as an example, a renter doesn't directly pay property tax.
Right.
Okay, but they do pay when they go to get their license renewed or their license plates.
If they have a car, correct.
If they have a car, they're going to pay. Typically $20, not everybody's 20, but typically $20 towards this wheel tax surtax. That is a more fair way, and you have retired people, people who don't drive, don't have a car, have a property. It's not fair that they have to pay for a bridge. They're not using it. So this is a more fair way of distributing the cost.
And that money goes strictly for bridges and roads?
Yes.
Correct.
Because that seemed to be her...
Cannot be used for anything else.
Okay, so what happens if you have money left over?
That would be a glorious day.
Oh, we
that
don't?
Would be, no.
We don't. We have too many bridges that are... Is it ongoing that pretty much maintains itself on...
Allen County, in the state of Indiana, Allen County has more bridges than any other county because of our three rivers and all the streams and everything that go with that. So,
are ours pretty good right now?
There are two that are condemned, maybe only one.
There's one or two, right?
Yeah, one or two
closed.
That are
because
closed.
They need to be
replaced.
Is there no money for those two?
Correct. There has not been money for those.
Okay, so that's what happens when there is no money for that particular bridge. It closes off in that section.
Right, you cannot allow traffic to go over an unsafe bridge.
Okay, so that's at least justifying why we need to pay for the bridge because we'd want to use that road, especially if you lived in that area.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
But my question back to, if you wouldn't have had the wheel tax or voted, so she was saying, and you were actually on the county council when this came through and you voted for it, if you didn't have the money and you normally got it from property taxes, what would happen? We would have just had to close down all the bridges? Or would you have had to increase property taxes, or? Was there any other options, I guess?
Okay, let me answer that.
Sure.
Okay. There is more options in the fact, and the one thing is that the state requires, or federal requires, that the bridges have to be inspected every 2 years.
Okay.
Okay. So the county hires an engineering firm to do the inspections, and they have a rating system that they go through, and if we did not have the funding, yes, they would have just been closed when they become the first thing would be a limit weight reduction on the bridge.
On how much weight could be in?
Correct, and then eventually the bridge would be closed. And now the couple bridges that are closed currently are ones that have very, and I'm not talking about the Buskirk Bridge.
Hey, I live by that one.
Yeah, you would. But anyhow, they're very, very traffic count on it. I mean, I think that there's
low
like
traffic.
Low traffic count. I think there's 2 families that's got to go about 3 miles out of their way.
For that particular
because that the one bridge that I'm thinking of close to the Ohio line is closed. But the other option then would be to float a bond, and when you look at the bond cost, the brokerage fee on selling that bond, the attorney's fee on preparing the bond, then the interest that you must pay on that bond, it gets quite expensive to be able to do this. And we actually passed a bond issue in 2008, I think, 2002 or 3, in which was going to take care of about 25 bridges. Well, we was about 3 or 4 bridges short by the time we got to that. We have another caller.
He does. Roy's taking over the show. Good job, Mr. Buskirk. Caller, go ahead. Hello? Did we lose you?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yep. We can hear you.
Can you explain the difference between the city and county council's position on the city-county co-location topic?
You're talking about the merger at the county council building? Is that what she's talking about?